Hello, I'm Lori Steiner. Welcome to Golden Opportunities.
Today, we'll wish you well with health news you can use. Do your flowers quickly fail? We'll offer ideas to keep your Valentine blossoms blooming. Then, if you're not feeling the love for your smile, we have help. Plus, need inspiration to make your third act of life a showstopper? We'll talk to a woman who is changing tracks to follow her true calling. And we'll explain a new retirement plan that could boost the longevity of your money.
It's time to get GOing, so pull up a chair and join us at our kitchen table for Golden Opportunities. An accident, a fall. They may not sound dramatic, but they can be traumatic, and surviving them can be a unique and difficult challenge. Sarah Hendrickson and Pete Soto know this all too well. Sarah is the Trauma Survivors Network Coordinator at Metro Health, and Pete is a peer volunteer with the program. Welcome both of you to the show here today.
Thank you.
So Sarah, let's start with you. Tell us about the program and why it's so important.
Absolutely. So when someone has experienced a major physical injury, there's physical recovery and there's emotional recovery. And they're at greater risk of developing post-traumatic stress disorder and depression during that time. So we want to provide support for them and help them through it and help them with what to expect.
Okay. Any type of particular accidents or problems?
Absolutely, yeah. So we help everyone, but we help people that have been in major car accidents, falls, people that have had work accidents, anything that would bring you to the hospital with a severe injury.
Okay, so what type of support are you offering?
We offer educational materials. We have this great handbook that we give patients and families to help them navigate the hospital. We have, it takes you from the arrival to the stay, through discharge, and then transitioning either to rehab or home, like a lot of individuals experience. We have support groups. We help people with all sorts of general trauma. We have an amputee-specific support group. We help people that are experiencing brain injury. So, they're available, they're free, they're available to everyone in our viewing area. They don't have to just be a part of the Metro Health system. We serve the community. So, we also offer and have had a really successful program called We've Got You Covered, which is based solely on donations. This was actually a really amazing handmade blanket from one of our doctor's mothers who sent it from New York. We give patients items that we think will help ease their comfort, or their discomfort rather, and obviously in a very uncomfortable time. So we offer glasses that often get broken in falls. We offer chapstick, things like that. And we also have an online community to help people, and we have, of course, the peer volunteers, which is the most successful part of our program. And this is where we take former patients and family members to and train them to come back and meet the families in the hospital and really help them on their journey and help them get started. And they're trained both by the hospital system as well as the American Trauma Society.
And Pete, you're one of those peer volunteers, right? So what made you want to volunteer?
Well, what began with the care that I received, the critical care I received. It was second to none. And then the post-care I received.
So what happened to you?
Well, I was I was a police officer, and I was on a motorcycle, and I was in a horrific accident, which was nearly fatal. It shattered my entire left side of my body, and I spent 2 months at Metro Health. Okay.
So now you're taking that experience. How do you work with the patients?
Well, we work with the patients by going and speaking about our experience. The program wasn't there when I was in the hospital, and I wish it would have been. I had unrealistic expectations of my recovery, and that's what made me want to be a volunteer, to let people know, hey, you have to take a step back, take it one day at a time. People have, like I did, unrealistic expectations of recovery, and some people don't want to do anything.
And they don't even want to talk to anybody about it, but you've experienced it, so that makes it a better communication channel, right?
Yes, I've been in a room before where a gentleman didn't want to talk to the doctors and nurses, anybody. He didn't even want to look at me, and I knew that going in, we get a briefing from Sarah on his injuries, and I knew he had a bad pelvic fracture, and I told him, I said, no, I understand you have a bad pelvic fracture. And I explained to him that mine was shattered, and I had 7 plates and about 5 screws per plate, about 35 screws to put my pelvis back together.
Who better to talk to then?
Yeah, and his eyes opened up, and then the conversation rolled, and he felt more at ease, and he knew what to expect. And I'm like, I can give you at least an idea. I mean, everybody tolerates pain differently, but I can give you an idea of which way to go and how it's going to be.
It sounds like a fantastic program. The road to recovery is uncharted territory for most patients, but thanks to the Trauma Survivors Network based at Metro Health and wonderful volunteers like Pete, patients don't have to travel that road alone. For more information, check out their website, www.traumasurvivorsnetwork.org. My thanks to Sarah and Pete for telling us about this impressive program and for their efforts to help others. Thank you.
Thank you.
To learn more, call Metro Health at 216-778-7800 or visit their website, www.metrohealth.org. Next, prolonging your posies. But first, our money features the faces of many men, but seldom do we see the fairer sex captured on our currency. Aside from Lady Liberty and the scales of justice, how many females have been featured on our coins or cash? We'll pay tribute to them when we return.
Hilltop Village Apartments is retirement living at its best. Residents enjoy a wide variety of activities and living services with all large first-floor apartments, private screened-in patios with beautiful park views, daily dining room meals, free laundry facilities, 24-hour staff, and so much more. Enjoy safe, comfortable independence at a very affordable price. Call today for a tour and learn how you can get your first month's rent free. Hilltop Village Apartments, retirement living at its best.
We've tapped a trio of women for placement of their pictures on our legal tender. The females who have paid it forward are Martha Washington, Pocahontas, and Susan B. Anthony.
On Valentine's Day, maybe your mate showed how much you mattered by bestowing a beautiful bouquet. Or perhaps you bought yourself some flowers to freshen up your home. But how do you make your florals flourish for more than just a couple of days? Floral designer Greg Lauk is here with help to keep your blossoms blooming. Greg is the owner of The Greenhouse, a fresh flower market in Hudson.
Hi.
Welcome back to the show.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Well, let's talk about flowers here.
Yeah, let's talk.
How long do you really expect a flower to last?
Well, a good quality flower should last anywhere from 5 to 7 days, but could last longer, up to 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the staple for Valentine's Day. You know,
right.
the dozen red roses. What can we do to preserve those poses?
All right. Well, the most important thing about when you get a dozen roses is to make sure the vase has water. That's the number one, really the most important. Make sure your vase is filled with water, and you also want to make sure that you change the water out on a daily basis. So whether you're sticking this in the sink and running fresh water into it by the faucet and disposing of the old water out, or you could actually just pick up the whole arrangement in your hand and just dump this out. Or, better yet, you can take this and you can use some clippers and you can clip all the stems, give it a fresh cut, fresh water, and plop it back down in the vase. That will make the arrangement last so much longer.
So they can drink, and they can drink very well then.
Yes, exactly.
So fresh water, we got that.
Right.
So anything else we can do?
Well, yeah, absolutely. You would want to keep it in a cool location too. So the cooler the better. To extend the life, you can put it in your garage as long as it's, not below freezing, or maybe in your basement. Also, just using a spritzer or bottled water. Flowers also take in water from their petals. So you could also spritz the arrangement as well. That'll help it too.
Okay.
Yeah.
But stay away from heat?
Please, yeah, stay away from heat. Don't sit it by a heat source or by your furnace, any type of warm air coming out. that's not good.
Okay,
And
that'll
then-
make them droop, huh?
Yeah, that'll make them droop. Absolutely.
And then you talked about trimming the stems. What's the best way to do that?
Yeah, let's show you. So we just have a sample hydrangea stem here, and I wanted to show you, they always say cut at an angle, and they say that for a reason. If I cut right across this stem, if you notice, the surface for it to draw up water is that diameter,
Only
right?
as big as it can be.
Only can be as it could be. But if I cut it at an angle, look at how much more this stem can drink up. You see how much more area? So that's why they always say cut it at an angle. So that's a really good tip too.
Lets them drink even more.
It makes them
fresh
drink
water
more.
and they drink more.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
And you mentioned that some flowers will last longer than others. So
Yeah.
you've got some examples
We
here
do.
of those kind of flowers?
Well, absolutely we do. So starting with your very last arrangement, there's some beautiful lilies, and they're still in bud. So those lilies will last a couple weeks, if not longer. So ask for your lilies in bud form. There's Safari Sunset in there, which is also called leucodendron.
That's the red stuff?
That's that red stuff, yeah. And it comes in green, too. You see that? That lasts 2-3 weeks, maybe. Okay? And then the Cymbidium orchids right here, those are beautiful flowers, probably would last a couple weeks, if not longer.
As long as you give them water and trimming them, right?
Water and trim them, absolutely.
Okay, how about, the tulips in front are beautiful.
Aren't those tulips pretty? You know, tulips do come in bud form, and they will continue to grow and bloom, and they actually are a long-lasting flower. You probably could get a week and a half to 2 weeks out of tulips that are in bud form. And then, this vase, we just kind of have examples of all the flowers that are really long-lasting. So this dianthus, which is this fuzzy stuff, is very long-lasting. Hypericum berries, Safari Sunset, leucodendron, and then, believe it or not, carnations are still
The
that
old
staple.
standard.
Yeah, that lasts quite a long time.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for
Yeah,
the tips.
you're welcome.
Bring spring into your space with fresh flowers, and then follow Greg's advice to keep your arrangement around as long as possible. For more tips and tricks, give Greg a call. His number's next.
For more information, call The Greenhouse, a fresh flower market, at 1-800-795-1366 or log on to www.thegreenhouseflorist.com. Next, give yourself a gift you'll love. Looking for places to go, things to do? Welcome to our community calendar. Would you like to go dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh? Then giddy up and go to Ma and Pa's horse-drawn sleigh rides in Burton, where at the end of the ride, you can cozy up in the cabin for hot treats and eats. To harness more information, call 440-548-5521 or hitch the internet to www.maandpaws.com.
One of the best gifts you can get from a loved one is to see them smile. And for some, one of the best gifts you can give to a loved one is a smile they can share time and time again. Dentist Steve Marsh has helped many folks wrap up that gift for a family member dear to their hearts. And he's here with their stories today.
Yeah,
So
Lori,
welcome
we
back.
thought it'd be a fun thing to do in honor of Valentine's Day.
Of course, of course. So, we always put ourselves last on the line of who gets taken care of, But thankfully, our family members can put us first, and so we're talking about some of those love stories. Tell us some.
And I thought, it happens so often in our office, and some of them are golden opportunity viewers, and the kids want to take care of their parents, and those are the best stories because for years, as you said, they put the kids and the family ahead of themselves. So we thought we'd do some before and afters and tell the story of how those patients actually came to us.
Sounds great.
So this first patient is a woman, a golden opportunity viewer. She is in her 80s, and she was getting ready for her family reunion, which is actually coming up this summer. And this past fall, her daughter brought her in. She's a professor at Kent State. Her daughter said, "Mom is taking care of everybody." The space has bothered her. She has devoted herself to everyone else. So what we were able to do is some porcelain bridge work. Today, when we do dentistry, Lori, we don't use any metals. And you can see this beautiful after picture. She wouldn't let us use her full picture, but she said she can't wait. And this holiday season, she said she was the star of every holiday gathering, which is gratifying for us as dentists. And this is a patient. He's 85 years old, and his son said the same thing. "Dad, you've taken care of us. You've done nicely. It's time to take care of yourself." he has, you can see that personality. In the first picture, you see that hesitant smile. He didn't show his teeth. You know, as we get older, we like to be with people, as he did. He also wants to eat well. So it's not just smiles, it's also about functioning. Because as we know, eating is one of the better things we do as we
only to moderation.
So his son came, they came an hour and a half away, and they came very often. And again, all porcelain veneers in the front. We rebuilt his back teeth with porcelain crowns to give him that beautiful smile. And I would say that in these cases, these patients have all allowed us to use their smile. Your viewers may recognize her. She came and visited us one day here on Golden Opportunities. Her husband and her daughter. Now, I worked a lot on her daughter, and her daughter came to me 2 or 3 years later and said, I want to bring my mom in. Again, this was this past year. And her husband was very encouraging. Again, the story of someone who always took care of everyone else. In fact, she would tell me, I don't think I deserve it. And her husband and daughter would be right there, say, you do deserve it.
Absolutely.
A really wonderful love story. You can see that bright-eyed smile afterwards. And again, as a dentist, you can't be more gratified. And here's the husband and wife here at Channel 3.
Right here at Channel 3.
Right here at Channel 3. And she was a wonderful guest, and he was a gentleman.
So that was children giving back to their parents. Now we have some parents who want to help their children too,
and
right?
I'll try and go through these quickly because we have a lot of wonderful stories here. A young man, 18 years old, big spaces. We did gum contouring. We did porcelain veneers. He went all through high school with orthodontics. The spaces were there. It allowed us to do porcelain veneers. He will subsequently get the lower. And we just finished him over Christmas vacation, actually.
All right. And we also have some of the meeting of the minds and mates, right?
Yeah, so very quickly, a husband and wife came in. She said, I'm 70 years old. I look good. I take care of my health. I take care of my hair. I wear nice clothes. I don't like my teeth. Her husband brought her in. We did those porcelain veneers on the front, rebuilt her smile. And then subsequently, she brought her husband in, and she said, now it's my turn. You see Joe on the left, he wouldn't smile. She was thrilled with her new smile. Joe subsequently, you can see a forced smile, but now we restored his teeth. So it's a wonderful story of a husband taking care of a wife, sort of like Gift of the Magi.
Correct.
And now the wife took care of the husband, and it's a wonderful thing for them and for us as well.
Absolutely. So Valentine's Day may be over, but you can still share and show your love with the gift of a beautiful smile. And Steve can help. Just give him a call. The number's next.
See what Dr. Stephen Marsh can do for your smile by calling 440-461-1003 or visit www.clevelandsmiles.com. Next, her Act 3 included following her own advice. It's time to get up and go, an exercise minute on Golden Opportunities.
Hello everybody, it's Mike Carbon from Breakout Fitness, and today we're here to show you how to work the lower abdominals and even the hip flexors. This is an excellent exercise. It's going to help strengthen that core everybody's talking about. You ready?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay, we're going to start lying flat on the ground. Here in the studio, we have our exercise mats out. You at home, go ahead, grab a spot on the floor and try this one out. We're going to lay flat. Make sure you keep your head back. We want our hands to the side just for a little support. And all we're going to do is we're going to keep our right leg nice and stiff, and we're going to bring it up to about a 90-degree angle, okay? We're going to drop it back down. Right before it touches, try to bring it straight back up. All right, we're going to shoot for 12 to 15 repetitions, and then we can go ahead and switch sides. Excellent. How you feeling, Lori?
Oh, feel the burn.
There you go.
Yes.
You're on your way to a stronger core. All right, slow and controlled movements, everybody. Remember to breathe. And now it's your turn to get up and go.
For your copy of the exercise booklet, send $1 for postage to Golden Opportunities, 6105 Parkland Boulevard, Suite 140, Mayfield Heights, Ohio, 44124.
Do you know what you are meant to do? Mary Sheehan does, and has for a long time. So why did it take her until her third act to follow her first love? We'll let her explain that. Mary is a registered pharmacist as well as owner of Prescriptions for Happiness. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So we have this Act 3 series, and we're talking about looking at how people like you reinvent themselves in their third act following Act 1, childhood, and Act 2, child raising and kind of working. You're a pharmacist. Is that your Act 3?
Not exactly. Being a pharmacist was really the result of doing the right thing, being responsible, which is often what we do during Act 2 when we're raising our children. But I have to tell you, I've always known that there was something else I was supposed to be doing. But I didn't listen to that inner knowing. I ignored it. I pushed it aside. I didn't really take it seriously like it's a real dream. And in fact, I would even tell myself that I wasn't even smart enough or talented enough to make it happen.
Oh my gosh, but you're smart. You're a pharmacist, by gosh, you know?
Thank you, Lori. Maybe I should clarify that. Maybe it was more like I was Dorothy trying to get home from Oz, where I didn't realize I had the power within me all along.
Oh, yeah. You just didn't have those ruby slippers, that's all.
Right. Well, instead of that, I got a wake-up call, a really big one, where I was struck by a truck when I was on my way to work one day. And that accident really made me stop and evaluate what I wanted out of my life. And although I enjoy being a pharmacist, it's not my true calling. It was like that accident gave me this opportunity to make a U-turn back to this part inside myself that I stopped listening to and trusting a long time ago. And so I asked myself, Mary, what do you want to do? What do you love to do? And then the dream was reawakened.
And the dream is?
Well, at first, I didn't know. So I answered, what do I love to do first? All right, so what do I love to do? I love to teach. I love to tell stories. And I love to help people see how their mind, spirituality, and their own inner wisdom all work together. So then I said, why not combine those things and help others get what I got from being hit by a truck, right?
Without having to get that.
Without having to be hit by a truck. And that was the realization that once you tap into your own inner knowing, things really clear up for you. And that's kind of where I am with my Act 3.
Okay. So how did you move into this?
Well, at first, I had no idea how to make that happen. So I got out of my comfort zone quite a bit, and I hired help. I asked for help, and I reached out, and I hired a few people to help me hone my message and get my programs together. And I'm so glad I did, because now I have these rich, compelling, interactive courses where I teach others how to amplify, hone, and trust their own intuition, which then they can use to make decisions in their lives, anything from career to health to relationship decisions.
All right, sounds good. You got some help, and now you can pass on the help.
Yes.
It sounds like when you finally decided what you really wanted to do, everything fell into place.
No, nothing is that easy or linear, right?
Right.
There were missteps and mistakes and redirections, and it's a work in progress, you know, and that's okay. I haven't even quit my day job in the pharmacy, but I am answering that higher calling. And with my courses in intuition, I'm answering the higher calling, and it feels really great, actually.
That's fantastic. You got a third act all moving ahead of you.
I'm going for it.
All right.
And everybody should. If you have a big dream, you should go for it. Take the time, take it seriously, and even tap into your own inner guidance system to get it started.
Sounds good. Good advice for everybody. Mary is using her Act 3 to stage a new career by following her calling. To learn more about her journey, use the information that's coming up next. And if you have a story about your own third act, we would love to hear it. Email us at kitchen@goldenopportunities.tv. We just might ask you to join us at our kitchen table to tell your tale.
For more information, call Prescriptions for Happiness at 330-592-5793 or click to www.prescriptionsforhappiness.com. Next, giving your IRA longevity.
Here, we're improving the health of our community. Here, a student sees a doctor without ever leaving school. Here, a stroke survivor regains the use of his right hand. Here, a foster child gets the consistent care he deserves. Here, and here, we're breaking new ground every day. So we can break ground here, tomorrow. Be a part of the Metro Health transformation. It's good for everyone. Here.
You've saved all of your life for retirement. Besides your house, your most important retirement asset is probably your 401k or your IRA. But older Americans worry about living a long life and depleting their 401ks and IRAs and spending the rest of their life poor. The IRS has issued some new rules that will make it easier to make your retirement assets last longer. Now it's easier to buy what is commonly called a longevity annuity within your 401k or IRA. Here to discuss this new retirement tool is my law partner, Mike Solomon.
Hi, Lori.
Hey, Mike. So what is a longevity annuity?
Well, basically, the insurance companies will sell you a longevity annuity. You pay a lump sum amount, And that annuity will not begin payment until you're in your 80s. And then it'll start paying out to you and your spouse, let's say, for the rest of your life. Now, the problem with the longevity annuities, they didn't work well with IRAs and 401ks because of some tax rules.
Okay, so how do you use it now with your retirement plans like that?
Well, basically what you do is you purchase inside your IRA or 401k a longevity annuity that, let's say, wouldn't begin payment until you're 85. And then when you're, and therefore it has all these years to grow, tax deferred, and then at age 85, it starts paying out to you and eventually to your spouse. And maybe by that time you've used up all your other IRA money. So now you have something that's going to pay you for the rest of your life.
The reserves kick in.
That's right.
Well, why don't you just do that with your whole IRA? Well,
the problem, again, are the tax rules. As people know, with your IRA and 401k, you have to start taking the money out when you turn 70 and a half. And if you put this money in this longevity annuity and it doesn't start till 85, you're going to run into all sorts of tax penalties. It's going to be a very costly mistake.
Okay, so how much can you put in? How do the rules work?
Well, the rules basically, you go and you buy this. You can invest up to 25% of your IRA or 401k, up to $125,000 in a longevity annuity. Number two, this can start, but you have to start taking payments out by no later than age 85. You can pay for the rest of your life and the rest of your spouse's life, or you can go to a beneficiary for a smaller amount of it. You don't get cash surrender value. It's a set payment. The only thing you can do is you can provide that if you die early, you can get the premiums back that you paid, and you can't do variable annuities. So it's a fixed annuity that you're buying.
So it's got some, problems, but it sounds like a good idea.
Right.
Living longer than your retirement assets is a real fear. You should sit down with your financial advisor and weigh the pluses and minuses to see whether the longevity annuity is right for you. Or for more information, call Mike. The number's next.
Call Solomon, Steiner & Peck at 1-888-236-5173 for more information or to schedule a speaker for your organization. Or log on to www.ssnplaw.com.
Thanks for joining us. On next week's show, if you have a stroke, you need help from its onset through rehab. We'll clue you in about quality comprehensive care available in our area. Then it's showtime for the Academy Awards. We'll share our picks and pans. And since you can't take it with you, we'll make you aware of the opportunities to donate your life insurance to charity. Till then, remember to make the most of your golden opportunities.
Would you like to join our kitchen conversation? All you have to do is call toll-free 1-877-765-1543 and leave us your question, name, and phone number. Or log on to www.golden.tv for all the latest information and show updates.